crowd was in foam, believers in prayer. Shouts of Dawich amidst the fanfare. A mere 14, her look was of despair. This gift seemed more of a curse that she bears. And she spoke of how there is much that's unknown, that she sees but part of a future unfold. She speaks of only the things that she's shown. With what becomes of it, she's not in control. But one by one, they told her of their plight. They begged her to give of her knowledge and insight. With poise she imparted her visions of foresight. But more fickle is the finger of fate than she'd like. Legend was tenfold. The news of the heavenly oracle took hold. I stood in her.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another CSR esports event. And we're here for the Austrian Grand Prix, and we have got ahead of us a wet qualifying session. We're here for the ABRC tournament. It's CSR versus ABE versus FGE. A few E's at the end there, just to confuse you that little bit more. Also, in terms of confusion, the colours are quite similar this week. In fact, they all look the same to me on the timing towers. Got several cars on their outlaps here for what is a wet qualifying session. One of the toughest sort of qualifying sessions you can have is that wet quali. You've got to find the limit so quickly. You've only got about 15 minutes left in the session, and they've got to find the limit and then push their car to the absolute limit if they want a chance of taking pole position. It's a mix of tyres at the moment, some inters, some wets. Quite interesting to see. I was expecting a little bit more. You often expect everybody to be on the same tyre in the wet conditions. Either everyone's on inters or everyone's on wets. It tends not to be mixed between. But we'll see quite quickly who is on the right compound. Have a look. Let's have a look for one of the CSR guys. Is any of our lot on a lap somewhere? It's really hard to see where we are because of all the colours are the same. We'll have a look at the liveries as well. Obviously the CSR livery as standard in black, and you can't see the sponsors on it. There's yellow sponsors we should be able to see. See if we can find one of our lot. No, there should be some yellow sponsors on it, so it's not just plain black. But it looks like the Batmobile, as Richie always says. And Richie should be joining me later. But he is just, he's on his way back from work. He's been busy all day. Have a look at some of the liveries then. I think this guy may have got it a bit wrong, the livery. I think this is from, assuming FGE. But, yeah, he's a bit different to the rest of his team, apparently. As we've got somebody around, and I can't get to them quickly because, again, the colours just aren't working. And it was CSR Shush who's had a bit of a moment on his outlap. Not what he wants to see. We are in the final round of the sort of the first bit of the group stage, I guess. CSR currently top of the leaderboards. I will get the points up for you in a few moments' time. Rich in the chat saying negative, Matt. that's a positive, Rich. You will be joining me in a few moments' time. I am not planning to do this all by myself for the whole stream. That would just be a silly idea. Then Shush continuing to push on his first lap of the day on the intermediate tyre as Leclerc goes onto provisional pole and is immediately beaten by ABE Charlie. It's so hard to tell who's on what team. I don't know what team's Leclerc on. Let's have a look at the livery. So this is the ABE livery now. We could just get a shot of that, please. It's got white on the rear wing. That's the pre-distinctive feature. And the rest of it is black and gold. Leclerc. Okay, he is ABE. Remember that. We've got Tommy just cross line on the wet tyre, mind you. And then FGE Faz also on the wet tyre. Both slower than inches. So that pretty much clears up our debate over which tyre is the fastest. Rich stops with the negatives. You will be here in a few moments' time, whether you like it or not. The Miller on a push as well. Several cars cross line. There goes Snipes onto provisional pole. And just as I was saying, the Inter is the fastest tyre. Wet tyre runner Snipes' SP has gone. Nah, never mind, mate. Have that. That's provisional pole. Still early phases in qualifying. And tell you what. Probably oh, boom. For goodness sake, you have one job. One job, and it's not to lag out the session. Sorry, boom, send that invite. Yeah, there's 2 points available for pole position here. We're going to see who gets that. Currently Snipes who had it by spec. In these wet conditions, you often find the fastest laps come right at the end of the session as Miller crosses the line to go P7, a 1:14.1 for the FGE driver. Look down to CSR Brownie. He is on a push. I will, just while we watch Brownie go around in circles, open up the Discord and I will tell you what the standings are as we head into this final round of the opening stage of the tournament. And did I just see Boom has rejoined? That is pretty awesome if he has. I've got McLaren saying skills. Stop with the boom, 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 boom. We've had enough of accidents with that, haven't we? All right. We have to actually get the police involved next time. Comes Brownie continuing on his push lap. He's coming through the final sector now. What can Brownie do? Can he get anywhere near that provisional pole time? Currently goes to CSR Shush, who has displaced Snipes on the pole position as Boom is left again. Goodness sake, we're going to have to get Rich in the session in a minute to drive a car. With all this DCing from Boom, Brownie crosses the line and goes onto P9, a 14.4. Alright, where is it? ABRC results. What else have we got pushing? Adam is on push, yet to set a lap. We've got 11 cars who have set a time as of now, and we are just going to quickly try and make sure, just because I don't know who's in a party, who's doing what, just make sure that man Boom is still getting his invites and can get back into the session. Snipes is looking like he may be pushing. No, he's not. He's coming into pit lane. And Leclerc is going for it on the intermediate tyre. Driving for ABE, and CSR Boom has once again joined the session. Hopefully this time that's a more permanent thing. On the inter tyre, currently P4 on a 13.4. I need to find 3/10 to put him onto provisional pole. Can he do that here? As he now swings it through the final corner on this very slippy Red Bull Ring circuit. Gets the throttle down, powers to the line. And that for Leclerc is provisional pole. The first driver to get below the 1:13 mark. It's a 1:12.7. Good time for him. As CSR Brownie's just popped himself up into P5. I have got the standings here for you now. Going into the final stage of this sort of first round. Group stage, CSR lead the way with 141 points, and it's FRA 128, QBR 114, TTM 111. They're just 1 point clear of DHL in P5 on 110. Then ABE here today on 92 points in P6, and then in the bottom three. And if these teams don't get themselves out that bottom three, they're going out of the tournament at the end of today. Those teams are TRT on 80 points. BHRL 79 and FGE on 31, and FGE, they need a big result here to give them any chance of staying in this tournament. ABE, safe for now, but only 12 points clear. They still need to have a decent result, and for CSR, a few points here should be enough just to secure them into that next round. Brownie still going. Brownie is still pushing, I do believe. He's coming towards the final corner once again. Can he get this over the line and improve? Crosses the line now, and he does improve. P3 for CSR Brownie. Not enough for the pole position, as we're seeing more and more drivers switching over now to the intermediate tyre. Definitely knowing which one is faster now, as here comes Tommy for ABE. Can he put himself any further up the grid order? Goes into P4, improves his lap by half a second. The 13.2 now is his personal best. FGE Faz, I think, just getting out the way there, potentially on a bit of an outlapse. FG JLT, who is pushing, looking to move up from that 13th grid slot. On the power, crosses the line, and he jumps up to P7. Good stuff for JLT, doing what he needs to do. His attempt to move up the order. I'm guessing by the colour scheme this is FGE with the orange and black, and that is Avalok up into P6. Nice stuff, 13.3. Still 6 tenths off the pole time as more and more cars head out onto the track. Only car in pit lane at the moment is Snipes SB, currently in P7, as Brownie just gone to pole and then immediately get beaten by Lutala, who improves once again and is now into the 111s, a 111.9, and he is on pole by 8 tenths of a second. He's definitely looking threatening here, especially in these wet conditions. HCF1 in the chat, a glitch in the matrix, boom on circuit. That is an A firm. Let's have a look. Is he lagging? That's what I want to know. He's oh, I was going to say he's alright, but he's not. Yeah, the turn-in is a bit delayed. He hasn't validated his lap. We're not going to stick on board with them too long. We are, however, just going to see there's someone off in the background. Let's try and find out who that was. It was FGE Faz, currently P13. Not improving as there. CSR Harry onto provisional pole, improved his lap by 1.7 seconds, a 111.9, and the first of the CSR guys to get below the 112 barrier, and that's provisional pole. ABE Charlie in there right now, P3. That's Funk in P4, Tommy P5, Brownie P6. Is he going to come into pits? Yes, he is. Got Miller still going around for FGE. I think he's the lead FGE runner at the moment in P7. Then has validated. Shush on the move, 8 tenths up. Snipes still in pit lane. His best lap was set on the wet tyre. Expect him to come out again. I'm surprised he's not come out again. Very, very surprising indeed. Is it a wet race or a dry race? Because I don't know if he's maybe trying to say tyre. We're just getting a brief update from CSR Skills on his arrival. No worries, Skills. All under control. Get here when you can. ABE Charlie, provisional pole, a 111.6. And that puts him fast with anyone, and the times seem to be tumbling as the drivers get more confident on this slippery surface, and potentially the track improving as well. Maybe that's why Snipes has stayed in pits so long. If the track is going to improve, you're going to be you're going to want to speak English to start with. That's always a good start. Second thing you're going to want to do is be out on track right at the end of the session as ABE Charlie continues to push. And we're going to follow on board with the provisional pole sitter as he continues on his lap through turn 4. Get on the power nicely as we head downhill now as the track sort of levels off as you turn right. You're sort of on a hillside, this circuit, in the middle of the Styrian countryside. Through the left, watch for track limits on the exit, and Charlie does that nicely. Open up the entry as much as you can, and don't get on the throttle until you know you're not going to have to release it, as you launch yourself off of turn 6 and straight into turn 7, as we now barrel back down the hill towards turn 8. How committed does Charlie go? Yeah, looks pretty committed for the wet conditions. Final corner, watch the curb on the inside. That yellow bit will throw you offline. Charlie crosses the line then, and he improves his lap by 5 tenths of a second. It's a 111.2. And that is provisional pole by 5 tenths of a second. Great stuff there for ABE Charlie. Shush not pushing at the moment. Got Several cars on outlap, several cars in the pits. Let's check out CSR Boom, who is pushing and trying to move himself up the order after a tricky start to this session, having his bog standard connection issues, and he seems to be struggling there just a little bit in these wet conditions. I don't know if Boom likes the wet conditions or whether he's a bit like me and sort of sucks in them, tries to avoid them at all costs, but we will see. CSR Boom, he's going to come into pit lane, deciding absolutely not going to put on some fresh tyres and go again right at the end of the session. Snipes come out yet? He has come out and he is on a lap. Let's follow this man then. Snipes SB, definitely one of the lead drivers for CSR. He's several times champion for CSR. Currently P12 on the grid, but in the wet conditions, it would not surprise me if he does move up. We've got a car off circuit on the left-hand side here. Again, no idea who it is because all the colours are the same. You can just see him there on the left side. Just it's an ABE driver. He's just making sure he stays out the way for others as he rejoins the circuit. Snipes then coming through to the final sector of the circuit. 2 minutes left in the session, though I reckon it's a bit more than that. I think we've got the standard timing glitch. Here comes Snipes through the right, back on the throttle. Was P12, what can he improve to on his first attempt on the inters? And it's already up into P3, a 111.8. Great start there, Snipes, as he sets off for another push lap on those intermediate tyres. Have a look who else is pushing. We've got Leclerc on a push lap. We've got Spunk going for one. We've got Brownie going for one and is improving by a tenth of a second. Just dropped down to P9 there. As he continues on his way round the final sector of the Red Bull Ring. What can he do to challenge for the pole position? Needs to find like 1.5 seconds if he wants to get to pole. Has he got it in? Brownie crosses the line, only improves by half a second. Bumps him up a place into P8 for the time being. Look then, who else is on a push? Leclerc invalidated his last lap. We'll see what he improved by. He did improve by 8 tenths. It was a 111.1. Would have been good enough for the pole position, but he exceeded track limits somewhere, and that has cost him that lap time. CSR Harry on the move. Snipes not pushing by the looks on this one. I think just recharging the battery. He's about to go again as we wait for the next cars to move in and jump up the order. That was Avalok just moving up into P5 there for FGE. Leclerc continuing on his way round. FGE Faz coming through in the final few corners. He's not improving by quite some margin. Tommy is pushing. He's in that final steep. See what he can do. Was P8 for ABE. He crosses the line. He goes second. Oh, 111.6. Good stuff there for Tommy. Let's see what everyone else. We've got CSR Harry here, who we're on board with now as he comes through that final corner. Can he improve? He was P6. Can he jump himself up the order? Oh, it's also P2. Just half a tenth off of the pole time. He's got time to go again, though. As Leclerc does go on to pole position, a 110.9, and the first driver to get below the 113 was the first driver to get below the 112s. He's now the first driver to get below the 111s. It's a 10.9 for Leclerc, and that's provisional pole. What can the rest of the lot do to stop him? Here comes Snipes. 111.8 was his best lap on the inter tyre. Crosses the line. Oh, second fastest, a 111.1. Might have been good enough to pole a few moments ago. Not anymore. He's 2 tenths off Leclerc's time. Snipes with a big jump up the order. Let's see who's next close to the line. Senna has just gone into P5. Good stuff for him. Tommy is minorly improving the last sector split. Now what can he do as he completes that final sector on the throttle? No DRS in the wet conditions, but he crosses the line. He goes up to P6 on a 111.6. Let's just scroll through until we find someone near the line as that Spunk getting it all wrong. Coming out of the hairpin, keeps it out the barriers. That's not the fastest way around that corner, believe it or not. Here comes Leclerc once again. What can he do? And moving up the order, Harry goes on to provisional pole. A 10.8 for the CSR driver. Here comes Leclerc. He goes back onto provisional pole by just 2,000th of a second. Here comes Snipes, who's... Oh, he's got someone spin in front of him. Oh, Snipes. He was improving on his delta. He was about 2 tenths up. Would definitely have been in the fight for pole, but it was Avalok who's had a moment in front of him. Snipes nearly spun in sympathy and then did drive off the track, not realising he was going to ghost. Avalok did ghost, but it was at the very last minute, way too late for Snipes to be able to react to that. And that is Snipes' cost. And he's now going to start in P4 at best, as that's a spin for CSR Shush on his final lap. He's going to be P5 at absolute best. Snipes is in pit lane. Who else is still going? We got Tommy still pushing towards the line. What can he do in terms of moving himself up the order? Gets on the throttle now, drives to the line. Stays P6. Improved his lap, but not by enough. Senna into the box. We've got FG Faz not doing much. Brownie Boom, who has not going to improve like that. And I think that is Brownie still going? No, he's invalidated. That then is qualifying complete. And for ABE, it is Leclerc who is on pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix. It's CSR Harry P2, Charlie P3, then it's Snipes, Shush, Tommy, Senna, Brownie, FGE, Adam P9, the lead driver for FGE in the race that they need to get a big result to pull themselves up to safety. I'm not sure they're going to be able to do it. They're going to need quite a crazy race for that one. Faz P10, Avalok P11, Spunk in P12, JLT in P13, Miller 14, and CSR Boom P15, and last on the grid. Oh, lovely. We've got some bonuses onto this one. Alex Murray, Martin Gills, Aaron Barnes, Igor Correa, and Lucas Roth have all decided they wish to take part here in the Austrian Grand Prix. Can the AI take on the players? We'll find out in a few moments' time. I will quickly, if I get a moment, I will... Oh, we're stuck on 1 second as well. That's lovely. Oh dear. Not what you love to see. I will try and figure out for you, though, the current points if it finishes as it starts. So CSR with the car in P2, P4, P5, and 8. And that is the ones we have in the points. With Boom down in P15. For ABE, their drivers are in P1, P3, P6, P7. Oh, not P67. That would be silly now, wouldn't it? P6, P7, and I do believe that is Spunk in P12. I believe he is on the ABE team, and then FGE have got everything that's left, and that is P9, P10, 11, 13, and 14. So in terms of the points, if it were to finish as it starts, and we are just going to assume that ABE get the fastest lap, considering they got pole, it would be ABE who come as the victors of this one with 58 points. Team CSR would do enough to get themselves into safety with 44 points, and FGE would come away with just 3 points. Not going to be enough for them to pull themselves up into safety. We've got Harvey PT in the chat saying, "Come on, CSR!" Absolutely, and we're still just kind of vibing here. I'm not really sure what's going on. Discord, where are you? Oh, that's nice. Cool. I think we're going to get a session restart. So I'm going to stick the intro on while we get the lobby sorted. Hopefully when we're back, we will not only have an Austrian Grand Prix to present to you, we may have a certain CSR Skills join me in the booth. I don't know how far away he is, but yeah, we'll be right back after this short break.
develop surrounding a small home. Then I spoke not if ABE had once been, and warned of the slippery slope that she slid. That I see an era of violence that brims, and implored she consider this choice that I give. Shouts of die which amidst the fanfare. A mere 14, her look was of despair. This gift seemed more of a curse that she bears. And she spoke of how there is much that's unknown, that she sees but part of a future unfold. She speaks of only the things that she's shown. With what becomes of it, she's not in control. But one by one, they told her of their plight. They begged her to give of her knowledge and insight. With voice she imparted the visions of foresight. But more fickle is the finger of fate than she'd like. Surrounding a small home. Then I spoke not if ABE had once been, and warned of the slippery slope that she slid. That I see an era of violence that brims, and implored she consider this choice that I give. look was of despair. This gift seemed more of a curse that she bears. And she spoke of how there is much that's unknown that she sees, but part of a future unfold. She speaks of only the things that she's shown. With what becomes of it, she's not in control. But one by one, they told her of their plight. They begged her to give of her knowledge and insight. With voice, she imparted the visions of foresight. But more fickle is the finger of fate than she'd like. Surrounding a small home, then I spoke knowledge to be what once been, and warned of the slippery slope that she slid. That I see an era of violence that brims, and implored she consider this choice that I
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After a short delay, we're back. We're here for the CSR versus ABE versus FGE in the ABRC tournament. I bring you good news. I bring you bad news. The good news is I've got a colleague in the booth. CSR Skills. What's going on?
Hey, who? Oh, me. Hi. Good evening. I'm CSR Skills. How are we doing, man?
We're doing good, CSR Skills. I also said I did bring some bad news. The bad news is, unfortunately, CSR Boom's internet has been playing up, and he has unfortunately been replaced by Maitland. So I think that's 4 finishes we're going to have now, isn't it?
Yeah. The bad news is that it was double bad news, isn't it, mate? Boom's out, Maitland's in.
It's just... we had a bad situation, and we just made it worse. There's really no other way of putting it. We're joking, Maitland. Just don't cost us 15 points again and you'll be fine.
It would be called a double dip, depression, recession, whatever we got here going on. But yeah, Boom and his Tesco Wi-Fi. I don't even think it's good enough to call it Tesco. What else can we go with? I don't know, Spark. You know, the corner shop. One around the corner.
It's just poor. You know, paying internet. That's what I would go with.
Ooh, half and half
Oh.
weather. Have you
Oh.
just seen that?
Oh. Oh. We like that in the booth. We do love a good bit of a weather mix-up here. Starting in the dry, but switching to the rain. And I tell you what, who to look out for? Leclerc and Snipes. Leclerc was looking extra pacey in the wet conditions of qualifying. And Snipes, well, we just know he's ridiculously good in the wet. Anyway, we had a wet to dry race here in CSR this season. And it was Snipes who, just by half a tenth, came out victorious.
So it's going to be a really interesting Grand Prix, and Leclerc almost losing it out of turn one there, lighting up the rear tyres. And talking of tyres, now we have pretty much a medium field. A couple of guys going on the softs might not be the worst idea in the world. How long do you think you can get a set of mediums to last around this Grand Prix circuit?
Set of mediums, you'd be hoping to take them the best part of 20 laps, maybe a bit further than that. Of course, here the standard strategy, as you can just see on your screen now, is the one stop lap 15. You'd come off the softs onto mediums and then take those to the end of the race. But of course, if we're expecting rain, I expect the reason a lot of these guys have gone for the mediums off the start is they think the medium tyre can take them to the rain period. But look at this sky, Rich. Look how sunny it is.
Break out the factor 30. You're going to get a suntan here today in Austria. But yeah, good to see at least one of the CSR boys mixing up, choosing that soft compound tyre, and maybe go aggressive on the strategy. Box early, maybe for another set of softs even, and hope you're on the. You've got a bit of tyre left when the rain comes. Do you remember the Grand Prix around here, Matt? Got wrecked really quickly in CSR, I think it was.
Yeah, I do remember. We were sat there about up into it, and we came past the bits, and we went, no, it's not wet enough yet, we'll stay out. And then about halfway around the lap, good old CSR Jeff came on the radio to both of us, and he said, box this lap. And I think in the party we agreed we're coming in this lap because Jeff says so, and we put our full faith in Jeff. And it worked out quite a treat, I do remember. Both of us making up time in that one.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to the CSR esports team. This is the final round of the group stage, CSR versus ABE versus FGE, and here it's Matthew Conabere for ABRC.
We wait then for the lights to come on ahead of the drivers. For the Austrian Grand Prix, it's Leclerc on pole, Harry alongside. And we are racing in the Styrian Hills, and it looks like a comfortable start for CSR Harry to pull alongside Leclerc. Can he get this one done into the first corner? It's a tricky first corner to go side by side, but it is CSR Harry who's gotten through it into the lead. There's carnage in the background as the yellow flags are out, but it's Harry who leads them up the hill. Leclerc looking to fight them back on the outside, and there's a car flying up the inside. Oh, that's dangerous. Way too late on the brakes there. I think that was ABE Charlie who's now dropping back through the field as that's cars tipping wheels onto the grass. Snipes has made up places. He's into P2 and looking to maybe have a look down the inside of Leclerc. He's gone for it, put his nose in there. He's side by side with him as they now run down the hill towards turn 5, and it's Leclerc who wins out on that one.
Brad has had a fantastic start. He's really getting aggressive on those softer compound tyres. Already up to P6 now. It was a half spin at the start of it. We had Scarius completely spunk it into his teammate and almost cost him a position as Harry moves up now, powers through up into P3.
Harry getting really unlucky there in that second sort of part of the start there on the run up the hill. We saw Charlie just completely miss his braking point, go way too deep into the corner and sort of took Harry with him. I would love to see Brownie right now. He goes down the inside of Tommy and puts himself up another position. That's P5 now for the CSR driver, who's really getting a move on early on here. On the soft side, can he have a look at the next car? That's ABE Charlie. He'll have to go for it on the inside. He'll be late on the brakes, but chooses not to do so as Charlie's gone in deep again. That's going to allow Brownie to pull alongside as they now get back on the throttle, as they now run up the hill and now back down the hill on the run up towards turn 3. Is Brownie going to be close enough to make the lunge? He'll look at the inside, thinks about the move, chooses not to on this occasion.
As Maitland joined late, starting at the back of the field, already made up 3 positions so far. Finds himself in P12. Just need a smooth and steady race at this point.
More contact in the midfield, more contact in the midfield, and that's Senna for AB, who's gone round and he was tangling with FGE JLT in there.
Damage.
Someone else got involved as well, and that's virtual safety car now. It's being deployed. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
After the early shenanigans of the Clerk leads from Snipes, Harry, Charlie, Brownie, Tommy, Shush, Adam, Faz, and Maitland now up into the top 10.
Can that tyre graphic? I've just had it come about 3 times. Is it going to do that all race? I hope not. Let's have a look at the position change. Just while on this virtual safety car. Yeah, like you say, Maitland up 5 positions. We've had Brownie up 3. Good start. Some of the CSR boys. Snipes up 2. And he'll be looking to get the race lead. Well, I say he'll be looking to get the race lead nice and early. Will he is FGE Adam. Has just gone and picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the BSC. Avalok has put a move on Miller.
Yes, it seems FGE Adam and it was ABE Senna in that earlier contact there. Sad to see. And Adam, the first penalty of the day. I expect many drive for a course will cost him a lot of time. Just crew.
Well, Snipes got very close there in sector 2 to putting the move on Leclerc on that VSA restart, but Leclerc just holding on, and they're going to continue in formation then as we now head to the start of lap 4. DRS of course has now been enabled, and that's going to just help the drivers as they look to make overtakes. One of those is CSR Shush, who's right on the back of Tommy and looking to get that one done as Maitland sets the fastest lap of the race, and that's the fastest lap that is worth 2 points in this tournament. We're going to very close. They head up the hill towards the hairpin, not on this occasion.
Oh, Harry almost going into the back. He's been spun. No, no. Got tapped.
Just grab a clip of that, not on the stream. CSR Harry take the lead off the start. He's now down to P13 on lap 4. 0. Long way to go in this one. He will fight back, but that's yet more contact in the early phases 3, and we've not even got to the rain yet.
Yeah, and talking of the rain, it's going to be interesting who's gone for a more of a compromise setup, who's gone for like a full dry setup. We will definitely find out when the first drops fall here in Spielberg. Got a car in pit lane.
Adam for his drive-through. Look at Brownie though, running P3 on those soft tyres. I was thinking when I saw him go for the softs, that's a great strategy if you're going to be able to make up the ground. And look at that, he's made up, what, 5 places
Here
now?
comes Shush.
Good stuff.
Up the inside. DRS. Stop under brakes. Hold on to the apex for your life. It's good traction out of the corner. Powers up. We're going to have the DRS to defend with. We've got a yellow flag. And we've got another car around.
Faz has gone around. FG Miller being overtaken, they're up ahead, but Faz, more contact in this Grand Prix in these early phases. Keep it together, boys. Miller got very close to the back of Spunk there.
And Harry's just lurking in the background saying, go on lads. Oh, and look, he's just opened the door. Harry's going to go up the inside. He's going to have the corner here. He's going to be on the outside for the next part. Use the button. He's got plenty of battery to play with. Going to power on up the hill now. And it's going to be his corner and P10.
Good stuff as Harry beginning his recovery after that spin. Looking to make up the ground. We've got Brownie quite close to the back of Snipes. Looking like he's got really solid pace early on. Snipes with a lot of battery in hand though over his CSR teammate, and he's using that now to close up the race leader.
Yeah, Snipes playing the long game. Leader, very good battery management. around 80% in the tank there. Snipes as well, not really using too much. Quite impressive for the front 3.
Yeah, good stuff as they sort of break away from the rest of the pack. The gap back to Shush is about 2 seconds, and he's got train behind him. CSR Harry has just put a move on Scarier Spunk. Continues his way up the order. He's now got to close down 2.4 seconds to the car ahead. That's Avalok, who is just on the back now of Maitland, up in a P7 from the back of the grid. Good stuff for Maitland in the early stages.
So in the chat, JRT Edgar saying, wow, lads, good evening to you, Edgar. Got Harvey PT, welcome back to the CSR crew. This is well worth watching due to the weather. We'll have a big mix-up. He's saying, come on, CSR. Let's get it over the line, boys.
Looks like a great scrap forming here down from P5 as it's going to be this man Maitland perhaps looking to make the move. Is he going to be close enough into the hairpin? No, he's not, as the clouds just beginning to form over the circuit. That's Charlie getting quite close to the back of his ABE teammate. These guys all fighting for the points positions. Is Charlie going to go for it on the inside of his teammate? Absolutely not. That would just be silly. I don't want to be taking out your teammate. But yeah.
Coming over the hills. Shush picks up a penalty. Quite a few penalties coming in now. Guys really starting to push. So we've got Shush on 3. We've got Avalok as well as Midlife has JLT and Adam. But yeah, look from over there. That's ABE. They're not playing the team game. And we need to use that DRS wisely. Not holding each other up. Tommy runs very wide there.
Racing here as it's made like put the move on Charlie, but not on this occasion. Tucks in behind as they now get back on the throttle and up the hill towards turn 2. Close enough to get this one done. I am just watching the gaps for the race lead at the same time as here comes Charlie down the inside on Tommy, and they've done a position swap as Maitland in the background.
Maitland's been taken out.
Oh, it's
taken out.
Another collision.
I've got it.
Okay, again, clip it because it just missed it on stream. We're watching the car ahead. Ah, more contact early on here. Lads, we are 8 laps in. We're not even a quarter of the way into this one. Keep it together. I know some teams desperately need the points here, but let's keep the racing clean. Snipes still all on the back of Leclerc. That gap just 0.3 of a second. Snipes putting on all the pressure he can early on here. As Brownie picks up.
Brownie picks. In very, very grey. I expect rain in the next 5 minutes, I would say, Matt. As getting very dark here in the exterior. As Leclerc, not the best exit out of T1. It's going to invite Snipes to come right up to the rear wing. It's under a quarter of a second now. I think Snipes will wait for the next DRS point. Going to show him his car all in the mirrors there of Leclerc. To start to apply the pressure. At this point in the race, further down the order, Harry battling down into the braking zone. He's going to have up the inside there. He's going to get a kiss on the rear end. Also, have a look on those soft flags. It's going to be in the ground. They're going to be the guy.
Have a look down the inside as there's more contact. Have a look. Just getting in too hot under braking. All okay in the end, but
in close.
They do love getting close out front. Snipe over the back of Leclerc. I will say, I know he's probably quite comfortable sat chain formation, but when it starts raining, that is absolutely going to be the car advantage. Then it's much harder, I find, to overtake in the wet than it is in the dry. So Snipe potentially one done soon, and it's almost as if he can hear me because he is closing up. He's gonna go for it up towards the hairpin, and that's Snipes SB up the position as well as Brownie in the background looking to have a go here. Oh, just a bit too far behind, but Brownie saw maybe just the slightest opportunity and had a look. Leclerc now gaining on Snipes once again as they arrive down at turn 4. He's gone for it on the inside. Snipes leaves the room, saw him coming. A little bit of contact on the exit. All fair racing. But in the end, as it's Snipes now who leads ahead of Leclerc and Brownie in P3. In the background, we've got CSR Harry. Tommy as they head into turn 5. Harry with the inside as it starts to rain now here at the Styrian Grand Prix. And that is Harry who has just put himself up into P6. But that is rain here at the Red Bull Ring. Ideal for those
even halfway through. And we've had the rain already start to fall on the circuit here of the Red Bull Ring. Now it's going to be crucial when to pull the trigger, get into the pit lane. Remember, these are multiplayer cars. Not everyone has their own box per se. Some people will be sharing them, and it's going to be very interesting as well. You're going to make up a lot of time, Matt, getting on the right tires at the right time.
Absolutely. If you nail that pit stop lap, it can be worth 3-4 seconds. So you really want to nail it, but you also don't want to get held in the pits. But at the end of the day, I think most of the time you lose getting stuck in the pit lane for a few seconds, you can make up by being faster on the right tire at the right time, especially if the conditions change as fast as we think they're going to, considering how quickly it went from sunny blue skies to rain here at the Austrian Grand Prix. Leclerc putting all kinds of pressure on Snipes. Snipes just maintaining his lead.
Yeah, Snipes. He's just a smooth operator, and he won't be fazed by seeing Leclerc in the mirrors at this point in the Grand Prix. Really impressed so far with CSR Harry after that early disappointment getting taken out there. Maitland, you need to take some confidence in that you've got the pace in the car, and you just need to keep going. There's a lot of penalties up ahead of him, and he's currently clean as it is. And how long do we think, Matt? How many laps? Say one more at most. Look at it.
Yeah, it's not going to be much longer now. Either at the end of this lap or the next lap. It's Leclerc getting very close to the back of Snipes. Snipes holding position as Harry has now put a move on ABE. Charlie puts himself into P5, squirming on the exit. And he does make contact there with Charlie. Definitely was Harry's fault that time. He just dropped it on the exit and slid into the side of Charlie. Charlie ahead now anyway. So I don't think there'll be any need for a stupid inquiry there. Just Harry in the slippy conditions, just struggling for traction on the exit of the hairpin.
Yeah, pure racing. Both these guys have absolutely emptied the tank in the battle, and it's a titanic battle between Charlie and Harry. This one is going to go all the way to the end of the Grand Prix. As we see the leaders come around the final few corners, is anyone going to have a little look down pit lane? No, they're going to go around for one more lap. Brownlee's tyres going to be giving up the go anytime soon. So this is going to come at the ideal time for him, and it's about not being too loud on the loud pedal.
Oh, speaking of that, someone has been.
Harry down the main straight, up the inside, back up to fifth.
Good stuff for CSR Harry, but the yellow flags I did see. Well, oh,
no!
Clip it, because I just came off and it happened. For the second time this race, CSR Harry is facing the wrong way, and I'm not sure it was his fault. Once again, as there's more racing now, as these guys head up towards the hairpin on this such a slippy circuit now. And it is, in the end, Charlie at P6, Tommy P5, Avalok P7, and now Charlie's gaining as he wants to run and have a go at his teammate down the inside. There shouldn't be too much fighting here, and there's not. But what a scruffy race it's been so far, as here comes Harry on Miller. He really wanted the inside, and he's getting a little bit aggressive there. Perhaps it's just had enough of the absolute carnage we're seeing so far in this race.
Yeah, it's time to settle down for the long haul. Like I said, we're not even halfway through this Grand Prix. There's a lot of time left in the Snipes. 3 seconds of penalties. It's going to cost him at the end. I'm going to check in with Leclerc, see his situation.
Tommy in the box. So is Spunk and Avalok. I think Jeff's been on the blower. They're all flowing into the pits. All flowing into the pits. I was just watching the leaders come through and I was thinking, well, they've stayed out, but it definitely looks wet enough. I would have thought about
they can't get on the power. No! Oh, Leclerc! Big moment there at the top of the hill. Squirming, struggling to get on the power. Snipes, that smooth operator, just doing that tad better, pulling out a big gap there. Down that back straight.
They're struggling so much. We're talking about CSR's Austrian Grand Prix. We had this exact condition. Those who stayed out 1 lap too long, you think it won't cost you that much. It cost them so much time. We saw cars flying off the circuit. The grip just really dropped off a cliff here. Snipes, the smooth operator, is hanging on nicely, and he's used this sort of very low grip condition to build up his advantage to Leclerc, as now the DRS gets disabled, and we expect the leaders to come into pit lane. Look at Tommy on those inter tyres. He's just finding time on the guys ahead, and he's going to gain off of being on that tyre on the right lap.
I don't think they would have lost too much. He didn't come down too quickly, and you saw the DRS disabled halfway through the lap there. I think it cost Leclerc a bit of time there as they come into the pits. All drivers opting for that intermediate tyre on lap 15 of 36, and Trish just getting held there. It seemed maybe a little glitch on my screen.
See what the boys come out then. Snipes maintains P1, Leclerc P2, Brownie will hold on to his P3. It'll be Shush P4 and Charlie, who's going to drop down the order. Tommy up into P5. Charlie will come out in... Well, he's going to come out nicely in some pack here. He'll lose another 2 positions here to Avalok and Harry, you would think. And indeed, he will. Comes out in P8.
Yes, Tommy gained so much time. He was battling with his teammate, Charlie. And Charlie had a horrendous pit stop, it seems.
Maitland and JLT racing, and that's JLT who's been off the circuit there. going on there, boys? I think that's wing damage well for JLT, so somehow he has ended up in the barriers. Oh dear.
Yeah. Just been in the box as well, so that is very fresh, and that is big damage. Lost all the elements there on the left-hand side of the car.
CSR Harry all over the back of Avalok on his sort of second attempt at recovering after being spun around for the second time this race. As Avalok gets very twitchy on the exit. That's going to invite Harry up the inside. And on the run up to the penultimate corner, it's Harry who will surely just send it up the inside and puts himself through and up into 6th place.
Oh, I had to breathe in there. You don't even do that in the dry, let alone the wet conditions. But he absolutely sent it, and he's going to come under attack. Charlie fancies the piece of the action lurking in the background as the field starts to get strung out a bit. This is what tends to happen in the wet conditions. It's hard to get close to the driver ahead. You're scared about braking yourself, getting on the power too early. You're just absolutely binning it.
Yeah, it's all much more difficult in the wet conditions. Charlie, though, is on the back of Avalok, and is he going to get the move on the FGE driver? They now run down the hill and towards turn 4. Looking to the inside, he's going to go late on the brakes. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he does. Gets that stopped nicely. The space has been left this time, and that should be Charlie safely through and up into P7.
So Snipes caressing that lead at the minute. Now up to 2 seconds the gap. Brownlee put himself in an excellent position with that strategy. Starting on that soft compound of tyre, starting way down the order, and has made up a number of positions, 5 to be precise. Finds himself in P3 and potentially a podium position.
Yep, very good stuff for Brownie, nailing that strategy. Everybody going for the mediums, thinking you'd have to go on the mediums to get to the rain period, but Brownie said no. He thought you could do it on the softs, and that's exactly what he did, and that's what's boosted him up into P3 from a P8 grid slot. Maitland picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Yeah, Maitland, his first of the evening. He's really closing up on the back of Faz, just gives him a little kiss on the mirror, and a bit of a difference on the corner speed, and that's cost him the opportunity of attacking down the back straight here. And it's all about getting good traction out the corners now. As we see
Spunk is gone. I think he was racing with a Avalok, I do believe. And that's, once again, the car facing the wrong way. I would not like to be a steward right now, to be honest.
This is the problem with Team V team battles. There's even less respect than there normally is in league racing. Pride is at stake. And we've seen it. Not an inch given out on track.
No, not even a little millimetre has been given. Lots and lots of contact, which is not what you want to see. Of course, FGE, I know they are fighting for their position in this tournament. Full stop, they are right on the chopping block as it stands. I know ABE are anything but secure as it stands. They do need to get every point they can. It's only CSR here in this 5v5v5 round that are probably, I think we're secure, aren't we? I don't think there's really any threat that we're going to go out with.
Hey. It's not over till the fat lady sing.
I apologise.
Just bring it home.
I apologise, but we're going to need something big to happen to knock CSR out of it. As there goes Faz up the inside, leaving the space on the inside. And for once, there's some respectful going on your screens. Maitland sucks into P10. That's Faz into P9.
Good on Maitland. So interesting. On the lap, on his in-lap into the box, the clerk picked up 3 warnings in one hit.
How?
Yeah, interesting. Maybe on the same lap? I don't know. It doesn't specify. Maitland all over P9 now. Like a rash, like a cheap suit.
Here he goes.
To
the end. Oh, that was... They're a bit too close for my liking, to be honest, Skills. What if you just get the move done or spread apart already? Can he have a go then up the hill? And he's getting the D-rates on the battery. It's alright, because they both are, but not ideal battery management from either. Is he going to go for it on the inside? Oh, he stuck his nose in there. He's been left the space by Faz there. and that's what allowed Maitland to get on the inside. But it's a good exit for Faz. Now Maitland will look to challenge as they run up towards turn 4. Is he going to go for it on the inside, looking to go around the outside? Does he think he's Alexander Albon? Didn't work out nicely for him. Would not recommend. Oh, contact on the exit. Careful, Maitland. Don't want to have any more crashes today. We've seen quite enough of that. And they hold position for the time being. Is that wet tyres for Adam?
And just to let you know, all of the cars have a flashing light because we do have a rain light. That's what happens in these conditions, just so you can see the car ahead of you. So it does look like it's derating, but it's not in reality. Big shout out to CSR Harry, finding himself in P5 and penalty free, man. Great comeback so far.
Good
It's the
stuff,
second
Harry.
time.
Absolutely good stuff. He's facing the wrong way twice and he's fighting back nicely. We got Maitland and Faz looking to go for it once again. Spunk and Miller have just swapped places. That's Miller into pit lane. Is that wet tyres again? I hate to be that guy, but Adam's pace wasn't looking particularly good. He's dropped a lot of time to ABE Senna ahead. It's not wet enough for the wet tyre, is it?
So that is now 3 of the FGE boys going on to the wets.
Already?
Now, it's full wets. You don't have this, this line on the track, do you, man? Normally it's more completely covered.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the deltas, but yeah, I think they got this wrong.
Adam's losing time to ABE Senna ahead. I agree with you. I think it's way too early. We've got yellow flags
Yellow
out.
flags.
Who's that for? Oh, it's someone spun in pit lane, I think. Who is that? I think it's JLT who's gone. I was waiting to the pits on the wet tyres. And that is mate. Who's that in the pits? It is Avalok in pit lane. Is that another one for the wet tyres? And Spunk. It wasn't ready a moment ago. I don't know if either Adam's just slow or something, but we're losing time.
Avalok going on to another set of intermediates, it seems. Spunk has opted for a full wet tyre.
Let's quickly check lap time. Snipes on his Intus, currently lapping 1:13.1 as his latest. Who's someone on the wets? They've not even set a lap time on the wets yet. That's how poor that strategy is going for them. We've got another spin. Who's that? Is it Tommy? No, it's not. That's just a position change.
Yeah.
I think it must be Adam who's had a go at spinning then. Yeah, another one on the wet tyre. It's just not ready, is it? Maitland picks up.
Miller losing out on the wets.
It's not ready.
Just gets breezed past. Let's keep an eye on Spunk. He has Senna 2.1 seconds behind, and we've got retirement. That's in pit lane.
Maitland's boxed.
Oh. Now, I don't think this will be for another set of Inters. Probably not.
Unless he's got wing damage, I don't think he has. Let's have a look. No, it's Inters again.
Maybe he didn't think they would last till the end and wanted to get the early advantage. Must be heavy wear on them, Matt. Maybe cooking them up a bit.
I did get a bit worried that he was going to put the wets in there. I was like, Maitland, for God's sake, it's not ready. We can see the times. It's not good. It's not good. Stay out on the Inters. But yeah, I mean, they've not been on those tyres very long. Only 6 or 7 laps. But like you say, if Maitland wants to try and get a bit of an undercut, then just hold on to the end.
Lap 23 of 36. Then boy, have we had some action here. Snipes that leads from Leclerc, Brownie, Harry. Sorry, Shush, Harry, Charlie, Tommy. We've got Faz, Maitland. We've got Avalok, Senna, Spunk, Miller, JRT, and we don't have Adam anymore. He's gone for an early bath. And 2 cars currently without penalties, and that is big up to yourself, Mr. ABE Senna, as we're going to get a change of CSR cars. Shush is going to go past Brownie. He just had the message.
Oh, it's another
Shush
spin.
is faster
Middle
than you.
sector. Who's gone now? Ah, dear.
It's these the medium runners.
Wet runners.
You know what I mean. See, maybe he's ghosted here. He's had enough. He's got damage. When he's taken a good old whack. Yeah. Fresh set of inters as well. He's back into P9. The Maitland now finds himself in 8th. And next car 26 seconds up ahead of him.
There we are. Radio check.
It's Friday again. It's Saturday,
Okay.
Sunday. What?
Good. Sorry.
Friday, yeah.
Just had a momentary audio issue for myself, but we're back. We're all good. We're all under control now. As the cars continue to make their way around here at this Spielberg circuit. And just going to try for you and grab a points update, because I haven't done one of them all race.
Copy that. So the nearest battle on track is probably between Shush and Brownie, which is an inter-team battle for P3. They both have 3 seconds worth of penalties. As we were saying earlier on, I'm going to touch wood as I say this. CSR Harry currently without a penalty, as well as ABE Senna. And if you can bring it home there, that is a massive achievement around this circuit itself. As we wait for Matt to get those standings updated, it's currently CSR in 1, 3, 4, 5 and P8, so all cars in the points as it stands.
You'll love to see it, and that is very much reflected on the scoreboard as it stands. CSR will be walking away with 68 points from this one. That's almost our best. I think we did better in the opener of this one at Bahrain. But ABE will be on 34 points and FGE down on 3 points. It will not be enough for them. They, as it stands, will be going out of the tournament.
So we've still got 2 cars out on the wet tyre. It's just not worked out for them at all. I mean, dice out. They're going to hang it out there for. They're losing hand over fist. They're losing 2 seconds a lap at the minute, I'd say.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he's boxed. We've got Spunk in the pits.
I'll be a safety
I
car.
don't need someone to clean that up. Yeah.
I think that is Miller in the pits as well then. So both of the wet runners have decided.
Here we go. Shush is boxed.
A firm CSR Shush in the pit lane for another set of intermediates. So you were right. The Inter's not going to make it to the end on this one. That's why they're going for 2 sets, and that's what's going to allow Maitland to jump up the order again. He's effectively gone for that undercut. He has the clean air, and I assume he's been putting the lap times in. So when the guys he was racing at box, he comes out ahead of them.
Yes, it's going to be interesting if either of the leaders decide to pull the trigger and come into the box. We've just got just over 10 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. Snipes and Leclerc in the battle for the lead of this Grand Prix. And I've got the feeling they're both going to try and stay out, Matt. What would you do in this situation?
I mean, if you're Leclerc, do the opposite. He's not going to win it on pure pace if he wants to go for the victory. I mean, he's gone in now. He has gone in.
Yeah.
JLC has left the session, but he has DNF, so that's all good. Yeah, Leclerc has boxed, and I assume Snipes will come in at the end of this next lap so that he can sort of cover off that undercut.
The Brownie stayed out. There's a few more cars that could jump him. Brownie stayed out. Charlie has decided to come in. Tommy is going to stay out. So these are all people that would jump Snipes if he did decide to pit, I do believe. Charlie serving a penalty there. Very slow stop.
I think he got one for speeding in the pit lane on the last round. So he'll be serving that.
Tut tut.
Naughty, naughty.
Oh, Leclerc got 5 seconds in the pits. He's up to 8 seconds of penalties. Big repercussions here, Matt.
Yeah, that is, as you say, that is big. That's definitely going to throw him out of a chance for the win in this one, unless Snipes makes a big mistake Just keep it clean now,
Snipes in the
Snipes,
box.
and the victory should be yours as Snipes into pit lane. Leclerc's just picked up another 3 second, I think. Yes, he has. He's 7 seconds.
His head's gone.
Yeah.
His head's gone.
Aye, aye, aye. Brownie also in the box.
My Xbox just opened Flight Simulator.
Oh.
Don't even own the game. It heard that and thought, yeah.
Okay. Understandable. Cool. Do you need an invite or you good?
I'm still here. It just snaps me quickly.
Okay. Well, moving on from Skill's haunted Xbox. We've got Snipes controlling this one. Leclerc P2, Tommy in P3, yet to make his second pit stop for Inters. We'll see if he tries to go to the end. I would be quite surprised, to be honest, if no one tried it. I mean, unless where really is that bad. Yeah.
You got nothing to lose. Just send it, and you need to split the strategy in this kind of situation. He was battling earlier Charlie. He was currently down in P7, a long way off him here, and Shush will easily get him. You'd expect. He's gaining about a second of that, maybe a bit more. Yellow flags. Cleared. Like
Senna
maybe.
Yeah. Got it facing the right way once again, just a spin potentially out of the hairpin. It's such a tricky corner, that hairpin. We'll let him off with that as his excuse. It's, yeah, such a challenging corner in the dry under traction, let alone in the wet. Just got to be able to manage that one. The drivers now with just 7 laps to go at the Austrian Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's a beautiful corner as we ride on board with Shush to get up there. Nice braking zone, but as you hit the apex, you just get over the crest of the hill, bit off camber there, really struggle for the power, and in the wet, it's an absolute demon of a corner, and Shush is definitely going to be held up through sector 2 now. He's all over the back of Tommy. Gonna have a bit of extra spray for good measure as we come through this tricky sector 2 where it's all about the downforce here. And you're set up, keeping it smooth on the power, short shifting up to 5th gear now, using a bit of that curb still in the wet conditions. Don't use that inside curb, it will throw you off. As you can see, Tommy squirming around for the power, really struggling. And Shush is going to have a look, but I don't think he's that silly at this point. Tommy is going to stay out for another lap. Shush just needs good power here out of the last corner. Still good ERS management from Tommy at this point, 70-odd%.
Having that look up the inside, not going to go for the move on this occasion. Take button once again as they climb the hill up towards turn 2, that tricky braking zone, tricky acceleration zone, as we were just discussing. Is just going to go for it. He is late on the brakes. He's down the inside. Can he get it? Squeezes his rival on the exit. It's like Leclerc and Verstappen. It's a legal move, and that's Shush up into P3.
Beautiful. What a move there. That was like on the edge of adhesion. Got it on the power at the right. And look, it's going to be a CSR train coming through. Brownie as well. That's Harry. He'll want a piece of that Tommy pie.
Here he goes, Brownie on the outside of turn 5. We have interesting place to get it done, but he's only gone and done it. Fair play, CSR Brownie. Knew he would have the grip on those much fresher intermediate tyres, and that's what's allowed him to just dance his way through and up into P4. Oh, down the side, CSR Harry. They're all getting a bit pulsy now, Rich.
Yeah, they just knew that Tommy didn't have the tyres left in him, and Tommy falling back. The next car behind him is quite a long way at this point. It's ABE Charlie, 10.4 seconds down the road. I don't even think he's safe from him at this point. 16 laps.
No, maybe not. Well, we'll see how well his tyres hold on as well in terms of not blowing up. He's got those 6 laps to go. As we got
all Faz having a battle. Teammates, is it?
They are teammates. They've got a different livery on. It's just inverted. Someone didn't
Someone
Nice.
just wanted to be different.
Often is the case. I will say the official FGE livery does look a lot better than what Avalok is running.
So we got big how are we in the chat? Said said great move. Let's go, boys. Push now, push now. Scenario 7. Let's have it. Snap out the final corner. That is why you don't want to do that. Just bring it home, boys. Bring it home.
That was like the fastest change of tone I've ever heard. He was like, send it, scenario 7. No, Harry, don't scenario 7. You're going to get yourself killed, boy. Here he goes then, on Brownie. I don't think there's going to be a fight here, Harry. 4.
I know we've got a few laps left, but I'm going to say it. I've been very impressed with Brownlee. First esports event. And he's put the mileage in around this circuit. He really has. He's put in the hard yards. And he threw the cat amongst the pigeons. Putting them red-walled soft tyres on early on. Fantastic start to the Grand Prix, but great team player when he's had to move out the way he has. And yeah, credit to the team.
Oh, Harry gets really wobbly there. That was dangerous. Just saves it, as he's currently looking to close the gap up to Shush and then Leclerc, because the gap between Harry and Leclerc currently 15 seconds. Leclerc with 11 seconds of penalties though. There's only 3 laps to go, but he is going to give it a go, I do believe.
Let's have a look. 3.4 seconds behind the race leader. Let's call it 3.5 for change. And Harry 19 seconds behind. Yeah, he's not going to catch Leclerc at this point. Like Shush would easily, not easily, but 9 seconds. No, he won't do it. Come on, Shush.
Maximum send. Let's scroll through the order. Who is doing something interesting? Currently no one. They've all sort of spread out a bit. And considering some of the carnage we've seen today, that maybe that's for the best. Take a break from it all.
Take a kicker. There you go. So Harry will jump his teammate coming into the Grand Prix. Anyone else going to hop up the order? I think Senna will jump up into the points potentially if he gets a move on.
Tell you who is looking like he's going to be on the move. ABE Charlie has been gaining rapidly on the car ahead. That is Tommy, who has not made another pit stop. Is trying to get that set of inters to the end. And Charlie looking like he will take that position on track as we head into those final 3 laps. Now down to 1 second.
Oh!
Oh! Oh!
Oh!
Playing dirt rally here.
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh!
Oh! Maitland has just been given a gift of a run.
He's got a puncher! He's got a puncher!
That's what it was.
Rear left!
There you
Rear
go.
left puncher!
We
I
were
was wondering
gone.
Oh!
The Rolex board. Put it back. They paid good money for that. How could you? I was watching that like, what the hell's going on? Just get back on the track. I figured out why. He's got a puncher.
Oh.
And that was the biggest string of noises we've ever done as he's got really wobbly. Oh, and he has spun it. He's gone around.
Reset the track.
The track, you naughty boy. Unbelievable, Jeff.
We're on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Snipes in the lead from Leclerc. We got Shush, Harry, Brownie, Charlie, Maitland up into P7 after these early shenanigans. Have a look. We got Fasten. Oh, and again, that was close.
Oh, that was dangerous. Tommy trying to get back to pit lane as soon as he can, but he's nearly died several times and he's nearly taken people with him. Oh, that was dangerous.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why everyone is boxed again.
As it turns out, me and Skills discussing maybe you should try the ultimate strategy. Not a good idea. Would not recommend. And now I worry.
What the fuck do we know? Absolutely nothing.
I worry for ABE Senna, who's on 20-lap-old inters as well, and he's going to have to go around and do one more lap. Surely he's going to suffer the same fate.
Well, it depends how kind he's been. If he's been abusing them, sliding them around, getting on the power a bit too early, wheel spinning, and potentially overheating them. But we're on the final lap. Let's check in with the leaders. We haven't got much tarmac to go.
Snipes SB, in the wet conditions, has done what Snipes SB does best. He's not won a race yet in this esports competition. He had the bell from him by some questionable driving. Compete from the back in Bahrain, but he's rocked up here today in Grand Prix and he's controlled it from the front. Once he took the lead before we switched over to the wet conditions, he then in the wet conditions has absolutely driven a masterclass of a race. He's controlled it from the front. He's made no mistakes. He's kept his nose clean. He's picked up very corner now for CSR Esports to round Snipes SB for Team CS in Grand Prix. Leclerc's going to cross the line to take P2, but I'm not sure he's going to keep that on penalties. We will see. Maybe he will actually. Shush is quite a way off. It will be though Shush who on track is going to cross the line to take P3, but it'll be CSR Harry who, after being spun around twice in the early phases, is going to cross the line and he will get on the podium. Nice stuff for Harry. Brownie comes home in P5, and for CSR that's 4 cars in the top 5 and 5 cars in the top 7 by the looks of it, as Maitland is going to come around to take 7th place, and that is a very solid job from the boys indeed.
Get in there, Snipes! You are the man! That's P1 Snipes, P1!
P1 Snipes, P1. ABE Senna on his 21-lap-old intermediate tyres is coasting through the final corner, and his tyres, they are going to make it to the end. Unlike Tommy, he'll cross the line with tread on his tyres, and that is it's P10. It's a point. It's worth something.
What a race from the boys. Maitland, absolutely nowhere. He got caught up in some action. Harry! My God, what an awful race he had. But he kept his head down, as they say in a Ferrari garage. And he got back up there. And what a dub from him. What a race. But Snipes, the smooth operator, cool, calm, consistent, played his cards, showed his hand when he needed to, went +1 on the strategy there, and it all paid off for the big man with a big dub for the CSR boys to secure our status into the next round of the competition.
Absolutely stuff there for CSR boys. I think that is them through. We don't know the final order of the other round, so I can't tell you for certain who is going out, but what I can pretty much tell you as a fact is I don't think FGE have done enough, only scoring, 6 points. It's not going to be enough for them to bring them into safety. That is unfortunately it for them in this ABRC tournament. But yeah, CSR safely through, an ABE with a bit of luck might just be safe as well.
Yeah, thank you to all the competitors, everyone who's competed in this group stage of the tournament. Thank you for ABE for putting it on as well. This is not the end of the road. We march on next week and we'll keep you updated on that. But FGE, it's been a pleasure, as well as ABE in this round. We've had one hell of a fight. You had nothing to lose. Yes, like you said, the steward's going to be a bit busy.
Busy would be an understatement, my good friend. And I have just worked out the points for you. CSR with the victory, 70 points, and that does match the Bahrain from the first race, 70 points for the team. ABE come away with 29 points. They lost out a little bit towards the end there, and that could cost them potentially. They weren't far away from the drop zone. Hopefully for their sake, they've done just enough to get themselves through. And FGE coming away with 6 points, and that will confirm be them out of the tournament. Are we going to do interviews? Are we going to get some people in? Or?
Yeah, get them all in. Let's
Get him
them
in.
all in.
Let's send the invite. All right, let's one by one.
Alright.
I don't even remember whether
They
they all
all put on
finished.
one
We're
hell
just
of a
gonna
fight.
have to.
Driver of the day for me. I'm gonna go with Harry.
I'm going with Harry. Absolutely. It's what we want.
CSR
Maitland as
Harry,
well.
including the audio. Swear to your heart's content. What a fucking race that was, lad. My God.
Oh god,
How many times did you face it the wrong way? Oh.
carnage. That was carnage. Yeah, you put. Hi mate, I'm very sorry today was poor from me. Lap 1, turn 3, I missed my braking point and tried to avoid everyone. Leclerc say I may have clipped you, so I let you back for in sector 3. Another incident, turn 3. From my point of view, you went wide in turn 3, so I went up the inside. I then stayed right. Oh no, I then stayed tight to the inside, and then I believe you spin into me, but I will rewatch my clip. Third incident is completely my bad. You braked earlier than I normally do in turn 1, and I tapped you round. Apologies, mate.
Enough of the incidents, boys. You absolutely dominated the Grand Prix. Matt, get a word with these boys. They're absolutely a huge stuff here today. What a fucking performance. Go on, lads.
Honestly, stop talking between yourselves. We're trying to do an interview here. Professionalism. All right, we've got all of them here, so I'm not even going to bother trying to do totally separate interviews. We're just going to kind of switch between people. Snipes, are you there?
I am here indeed. What's going on, mate?
Hello, Snipes. First of all, congrats on the win. Good job. Tough race,
mate.
easy race. How did that go for you?
Yeah, it was tough until the rain, and then it was okay after that.
Yeah, that's classic Snipes, isn't it? Everyone else would be. It was fine in the dry, and then it got really tough in the rain. Snipes, it's the other way around. It was raining. It was fine. Piss easy in the rain. Friggin' sweat.
Flex on me more, Snipes. Flex on me more.
Man, it was a good race. It was a tough race. But yeah, I just had to keep it consistent in the rain, make no mistakes. But yeah, all good.
There you go. Snipes doing what he does best. We'll then go and say hello to Brownie, because Brownie nailed the strategy, mate. Starting on them soft tyres. Love to see that.
Yeah, just thought, as everyone in the party was talking about going mediums and playing it safe, I thought, you know, why would anyone else but me do something arguably slightly risky? But it worked. I didn't have the pace on the inters to stay with Snipes and Leclerc, unfortunately, but I was there to rear gun and just kind of be there and help Snipes when I could.
There you go. Did a solid job and good points to the team. Let's go over and say hello to Harry. Harry, you there? Hello, Harry.
I am indeed.
What an absolute carnage race that was. We saw you get spun twice in the early stages, and you still fought back and took a podium. You're both me and Skills Driver of the Day. Congratulations, sir.
Cheers. Yeah, it was very annoying getting spun like 2 or 3 times, but yeah, I mean, I managed to get. I had a couple pretty sweet overtakes that were pretty sick, but yeah, it was a tough race.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Matt missed them all. Don't worry. Matt missed all of them.
I didn't get any of it on stream. One of them, I literally watched it, then clicked off of you as you spun out, and I was just like, for God's sake, every time. It's all good though. Skill's got the clips if we need them. Who have I not spoken to yet? Maitland, you there?
Yeah, man.
Maitland, talk us through it.
Well, boom did boom, died, killed the lobby. Then, you know, we had a bit of a bicker, and it seems that he's only can't race, you can't race. I thought, well, I think it's fair if I start from the back, so I start from the back. A decent start, pit my way for the carnage, got myself up to like P9, and then some nutter on the soft spun me around. Inters, got stuck behind some, I think it's the same guy to be fair. Yeah, I just got stuck behind him, I couldn't really stretch my legs, and then I went for the undercut for fresh inters, and then I was kind of on my own really for the last 7 laps, really. 7 laps, 7 seconds ahead. Yeah.
Gee, right, I got CSR Shush. I've not spoken to you yet. Talk us through your race. How did that go for you? Nearly put it in the wall with 2 laps to go. That does sound like a bottle job, if I ever saw one. That would have been an absolute disaster. Skills, anything you want to add?
That was one hell of a fucking race from the boys. They got it. They secured, I think, the biggest point stop in the fucking world. 70 points on the board. They secured the next step into the next round. And boy, have they put a fucking marker down on this competition right now. Watch out, everyone. CSR coming your way.